Dizzy Mysteries, The White Wolf by Ron Roy. Chapter 3. Dink and Ruth looked into the distant trees, trying to see the wolf. All I can see are some rocks, Dink said. The wolf is white, so she blends in, Abby said. You need the telescope. Josh backed away, and Ruth took his place at the telescope. Oh my gosh, she breathed. It's beautiful. Can I look? Dink asked. Ruth stepped back, and Dink peered into the telescope. I see it, he said. Suddenly, they heard a wolf howling. Everyone jumped, and Abby started to laugh. I recorded the wolf's voice, she said. She pointed to a small tape recorder on a table. Next to it was a box of labeled cassette. Dink read a few of the labels. Raccoons, frogs, crickets, squirrels, birds, chipmunks. You recorded all these animal sound? Dink asked. Abby nodded. It's my hobby, she said. I've been trying to record seals, but they never seem to make noise when I'm around. You have seals here? Josh asked. Abby nodded. A bunch of them live on a rocky island out there, she said, pointing toward the front of the cabin. That's why this is called the Seal Harbor. Abby replayed the wolf's howl. It sounds lonely, Ruth said. Abby nodded. She could be lonely, she said. She might miss the rest of her pack. How do you know the wolf is a girl? Asked Dink. Abby grinned. Because she has 3 babies, she said. Let me see, Josh said. He put his eye to the telescope again. I don't see any babies. I've only seen them a couple of times, Abby said. Josh let Abby have another look. The cubs are there, she said. They're lying right next to the mother. Their white fur blends in with hers. Josh looked again. Guys, I see them, he said. Ruth and Wallace peered into the telescope. They grinned and said, Oh, aren't they cute? When it was Dink's turn, he laughed out loud. The plump baby wolves were cuddled next to their mom, playing with each other's tails. Who wants lunch? Wallace asked. I do, said Josh. Abby leaned over to a panel near the door and pushed the button. Immediately, the door opened inward. Cool, huh? She said. All the doors operate that way. Wallace said, I bought this cabin because the previous owner was also in a wheelchair. The kids followed Wallace and Abby inside. The living room had a braided rug on the floor. All the chairs and sofas looked soft and comfortable. A stone fireplace took up nearly one wall. Shelves on both sides of the fireplace held books, board games, and seashells. To the left of the fireplace were wide glass doors with a view of the sky, ocean, and islands. This place is awesome, Josh said. Thank you. Come on, I'll show you where you're sleeping, then we'll eat. Wallace told them. Ruth, would you like to share my room? Abby asked. You can have the top bunk. Great, I follow you, Ruth said. You two have a treat, Wallace said to Dink and Josh. Come on. She led the boys out through the glass doors. They followed her around to a different side of the deck. Oh my gosh, Josh said. A tent had been set up right on the deck under the roof. Inside the tent were twin beds, a small table with a lamp and a rug on the floor. It was Abby's idea. She thought you'd enjoy falling asleep listening to the waves, Wallace said. You might even hear the seals. It's excellent, Dink said. Thanks for going to so much trouble. No trouble at all, Wallace said. Get settled, then come back to the kitchen when you're ready. The boys entered the tent and chose beds. Isn't this cool? Dink said. I guess, Josh said. What's wrong? Dink asked, emptying his pack onto his cot. What if the wolves come up here? Josh asked. Or even bears. Wolves and bears don't eat people, Josh, Dink said. Yeah, what did they eat? What did they eat? Josh asked. Just then, they heard Abby yell from the deck. Mom, she shouted. Dink and Josh pounded out of the tent and tore around the corner. They saw Abby sitting with one eye pressed up against the telescope. Ruth and Wallace came running from the other direction. What's wrong, honey? Wallace asked. Somebody took the baby wolves, Abby cried. Took them? What do you mean? Wallace asked. How could anyone take them? I saw it through the telescope, Abby insisted. A man and a woman grabbed the puppies.